Recording in progress. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your hot seat session 9 weeks before the event. Tonight is really about you taking the opportunity, if you need it, to share the group where you're at with your talks, to ask any advice from the group if you require it. Claire, I'm aware you and I haven't had our one-to-one yet, even though we've been through Be Heard before, to really break down what it is that you want to speak about. So don't worry if you feel like you're like on the back foot. Don't worry, I've absolutely got your back and you will be caught up. This evening, I will be able to let you know your cohorts. So I'm going to be able to share with you tonight what day you will be speaking on. So that's really exciting as well. I can't tell you this evening at what point in the day you will be on, because as we measure the energy, so I've got everybody's topics now. I know what everybody's speaking about, but I want to make sure I get everybody's energies right, because energy management through programming is really super important. So what I need to see from you, those of you that are at that point, if you're ready to start saying out loud, even if it's reading. So Fiona, for example, perfect example, you've got all your talks sort of written out. I want to see you in that rehearsal space, just reading it through. Not performing it, you're not performance space yet. We've not even been through a formal edit. I know you and I have kind of started to stitch everything together, but I really, really want to see you saying it if you have it to hand. So if you've done some of that work, I really want you to see you start to talk it. Before we go any further, huge congratulations to our Tanya on the launch of our website today. Hooray! It's been brilliant seeing the buzz that has been around you over the course of today and the support that you're getting. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm still buzzing. Thank you so much for this morning and for that. You've got me by surprise then. I nearly fell off my chair.
I want to celebrate you guys when you do great things, and today's been a great day for you.
It has, yeah. I've hardly got any work done. So, that's a little problem, but I've had a great day. Yeah, thank you. I've had so many messages and comments, and it's been amazing. I'll sleep well tonight.
Just the start of it. And then you've got Be Inspired and the book coming out. Has anyone else got books coming out this year? Let me know. Give us a wave. We need to keep our eyes on you. Sam's got a book coming out. Mel's got a book coming out. Oh, you're amazing, all of you. Anybody else got anything to celebrate before we kick off with days? Mel, I tried to watch this morning, poor signal, sorry I couldn't support. Even just being around Mel's amazing. Has anyone else got anything to celebrate this week? Holler at me. Are you drinking wine out of the bottle, Amy? No, she's not, it's Lilt.
I'll be getting my tits off on the 12th of June.
Are we eating Tommy's teeth?
Yeah, I can hear Lindsay laughing. She just heard me say it.
Hooray! That's incredible news. On what date is it, sorry?
The 12th. No, not the 12th, sorry, the 2nd of June.
2nd of June.
Yeah.
Oh, for your sake, I'm really glad that it's after Be Inspired, so that you're not in any kind of painful recovery situation.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So, yeah.
Congratulations. I'm really pleased for you. I think that, you're going to feel amazing in the few weeks afterwards, because it's hard going in like any kind of surgery, only because I'm just recovering myself from my belly.
I get paid time off work, so
good, as is right and proper, my friend. So congratulations, huge celebrations for you. Amy saying I'll be drinking wine out of the bottle a week before Be Inspired. It was Lilt, just in case anybody didn't catch that. I thought it was a white wine bottle. I thought, go on, Amy, let me live vicariously through you. We've got Sarah, she's got gin in a teacup tonight. She's just got the label there just for sure. Okay, so would you like to know your cohorts? So where the cohorts are concerned, you will be, we do our sessions together on a Wednesday, always together. We don't split out in terms of any kind of delivery, but we will form 2 separate chat groups. So I've explained this before, but just for the benefit of anyone that's forgot, we've got a day 1 chat group and a day 2 chat group. And the reason is, just to re-go over that, is because you have different experiences based on the timing of the day. So I don't want to freak day 2 people out with day 1 nerves. And similarly, like day 2, you're going to be feeling really nervous and will need a safe space. And day 1 will need a place to decompress directly after they've had their talks. So we have the communal rehearsal space for things that we want to share with each other. And then you'll have your smaller per day cohorts where you can really lean on each other for how you're feeling in the moment. Does that make sense? That doesn't mean that we stop speaking to each other. We are still very much together, and you will see from other Be Inspired, it doesn't matter what day you're on, we are very much all together. We are still family, but it really does just help. We also have a really friendly competition between the 2 cohort days on ticket sales. So this Friday, I'm taking day 1 from the previous Be Inspired to 20 Stories in Manchester. They're all going out for a meal on IATQB to celebrate them selling the most tickets for the event. We're going to do a very similar thing for you guys. There will be a night out with me at a very fancy restaurant. For the cohort that sells the most tickets. It's really friendly, the competition. It's not fierce, but why not let it get fierce? Like, I just don't want any falling out or anything underhand going on. Where the competition is concerned, you will need to make sure you use your link. It is the only way, A, that you get paid commission, and it is the only way that we can track which days are winning the competition. Does that make sense? So please, please, please don't, if somebody buys from somebody else's link, I can't prove it. And I'm not able to, between 20 of you, work that out. So if somebody says to you, like Sarah, for example, I want to buy a ticket, say to them, make sure you buy from this link. All right, Michelle, make sure you buy from this link. Tell them, share that link. Make sure you buy from this link. Make sure you really tell them so that I can track it, so that we can pay you commissions that you're owed. Are there single day tickets on sale for us to sell, or 2 day only? So there are 3 types of ticket, each are worth £25 to you. Day 1, day 2, both days, and online. That's 4 types of ticket. What a knobhead. Sorry, my ability to count isn't great. I'm dead good at words and not so good at numbers. So you've got day 1, day 2, online, and both days. Each are worth 25, because in the room, so it's not, even though the ticket is more expensive in the room, to have them in the room is more expensive. So online, they just get the access. In the room, they get the swag, they get fed, all of that. We get the VIP area upstairs and stuff. So they do get really lovely, they have a really lovely experience at the Impossible. We hang out directly afterwards, both nights up in the gin nest. We get given the gin nest as an area for us to go and hang out, and it's really lovely. It's nice to go for drinks and cocktails, do beautiful cocktails there. But yes, day 1, day 2, are you ready? Gonna read them out. Day 1 at Be Inspired, March 2022, is Laura Rowe, Sarah Park, Mel Gizzy, Charlotte Grand, Zoe Bryn, Michelle John, Joanna Streams, Rachel Mooney, Danielle Hansen, and Claire Nixon Odd. That is the day 1 cohort, which means the rest of you are on day 2, but I will read them out anyway. Day 2, March 2022, Be Inspired. I'm so sorry I do that in a shit northeasterly accent. I can't help myself. It's Tommy Powell, Amy Mantle, Tanya Ibbison, Fiona Bryan, Nikki Matiazic, Anne Ferguson, Prash Sharma, Sarah Allman Bushell, and Sam Eris. Day 2 team, how are we feeling? That makes it feel a bit real now. We've kind of like sharpened the lens up a little bit on what the day is going to look like. So when it comes, as I said to you a little bit earlier on, when it comes to programming, an event, energy is really important. So what we like to do is keep a little bit of, I always bring like really high impact energy to the beginning of the day. So we're not reliant on anybody to bring anything other than what they have planned. All right. So the onus isn't on anybody to bring super fire. The only super fire that I expect from you is the super fire that you want to bring to the stage, right? That is the fire within inside you. You don't have to overcompensate for going on first. I'll take that off all of your hands for you and make sure that they are lovely and toasty and warm and ready to just love on you, which they do. They're amazing. Some of you guys have been in the audience and know what that feels like, right? It's a lovely, toasty, warm snuggle of an audience. They're brilliant. And I'll go in there and go and be a bit silly and go and get them all warmed up.
Can I just say something?
Of course.
I'm bringing super fire.
Yes, I am so happy that you're bringing super fire. I want you to bring super fire. And I know that we have, again, I said this to you last week, because of the range of topics that we've got, We've got real high energy talks, and we've also got more serious talks that are no less high energy, but we're going to take people on a roller coaster of emotions. We're going to bring them up and we're going to make them think, and we're going to bring them up and we're going to make them think. And we'll never say for 1 second that we're going to bring them down, right? We're never going to bring them down. We're going to make them think. And that's where we need to take that energy. It's just how they're thinking about stuff. We want them in reflective spaces just as much as we want them in dancing on their seat spaces. I want all of it for them. And I can see all of that in you guys as a lineup. And that's why I've done it the way that I have, because I can see the way each of your topics will bring that shape to each of the days, and really balanced in topic as well. For example, the different nutritionists on different days, different finance people on different days. Even though everyone's speaking about different topics, it just gives us that nice spread between the 2 days. Everyone happy? Any questions about the lineup? I love it. Amazing. What are we? Hang on, what are you saying there? Is the running order the same as what you just read out? No. No, and I won't finalize that running order until I've seen all of you speak in the rehearsal room and I've seen all of your PowerPoints. And that may only be the week before the event. So just as an FYI. If anybody, I think, is feeling super nervous and really needs to get it out of the way, you're all going to be nervous, right? So some of us are going to have to hold our space. It might get, so when we got to Be Inspired last time, one of our speakers was finding it really, I positioned her later on in the day, but she said that, you know, she wasn't feeling comfortable. It was actually affecting her. Your safety is my priority. You know, I think I've said this to all of you in some way, shape or form, not just your financial safety, but your mental health safety. Your safety for everything is my first priority above everything else. If you're feeling like, because of where you are in the day is detrimental to how you're feeling, and you're not able to keep a hold of that, please speak to me. That's what I would implore you to do. Don't be frightened of speaking to me, and certainly don't get yourself into such a tears that you make yourself feel poorly. I don't want that for anybody. Keep the conversations open with me so that either we can work through it together or make changes accordingly. Is that all right? It is nerve-wracking. I get it. I felt it yesterday and I was second to last. And I was holding on all day. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard being later on in the day. Please know that where I've put you, or where I'm going to put you, is 100% right for you and right for the energy of your talk. So I know that where you are in the day is going to get you the best reaction. Hello? You are an absolute filthy mess. I don't know if you can see, but she's a mucky mess. Go and wash your face and brush your teeth. Give me a kiss. I love you. Good night, bless.
Love you more.
Love you. You love me. It's not a competition. You're too small to love me more. Go away.
But I have a bigger heart.
You don't have a bigger heart. Go away.
Yeah,
I love you. Good night. God bless. Sorry.
There was a collective, oh.
Bigger heart. No, you don't.
I can see you asking all sorts of questions in the chat.
Ooh, let me get the chat up.
You're all jumping ahead.
I love it. It's okay.
Oh,
That's
very
okay.
exciting.
Don't worry. Get excited. Ask the questions. Okay. If anyone is after me and they've got a golden then they've got a golden ticket, because you can cheer everyone on.
So
you're not going to make anybody sad. You're going to like make everyone go, yeah, like this. Like I can feel that. Like that. I absolutely know that. Can I be after 12 p.m. as I'm superstitious? I'll talk to you about where that's going to be. Like, don't worry. So Fiona's just saying, so we send them a link to buy a ticket and also give them our affiliate link. No, give them your affiliate link. Yeah. So don't share my link, which I will always share. I'm the queenbee.co.uk/events. That's the one that I always share. And then people will click through. That's the link that I'll be sharing on my show. Unless you're on the show at Wise Up Show with me, you are all welcome, PS, to book in a slot, come and chat, come and share whatever it is that you're sharing. It's similar to Tanya this morning. If anybody wants to come on the show in the next few weeks, you are welcome. Just let me know, let Anna know, we'll get you booked in. Doesn't matter what day it is all about you for the next 9 weeks. And during that show, we will share your link. Okay, so I want you guys to get as much commission from this as possible. Like I would love you to get some commission back from this. And in a similar way, when we relaunch afterwards, you can all be affiliates for Be Inspired if you know anyone else that wants to come through the process. We'll talk about that another time. So what else are we saying? When do guest speakers get announced? Queen Mojo last year was incredible. I have some speakers up my sleeve. I cannot share with you until we have dotted the I's and crossed the T's, but we are known for having great guest speakers as well. We specifically want speakers of colour because we are predominantly a white situation here, as you can see, predominantly, and I think it would be remiss of us to not make sure that we're certainly diverse in topic and diverse as we look at ourselves, but not maybe as we should be, and it's a real priority of mine. So we will be seeking out more incredible people of colour to come and join us on the stage as well. Queen Mojo last year ripped it up, total highlight. If anybody saw her speak, she is brilliant. If you don't follow her already, go and follow her, because she's just a light in everybody's lives. She is fucking amazing. So yeah, have I missed any up the way?
There's a question about social media posts. So it's one headshots, then we can create the social media graphic. Ideally, once you've got your talk title finalized, we can have the branding for the event, your face, your talk title, and then you can splash those all over the interwebs. But we
100%.
We do need your headshots for those. I know some of you have sent those in, so I should imagine Wallace can start to get cracking on those now. But it's
we were just waiting to get back from London today. He's on that. He's like graphics. His focus now is to, as soon as you've got your ideas for your PowerPoint, get them in ASAP. Don't wait for the deadline. Get them in now. Let us get them out of the way, and then we can focus on doing all the other stuff that we need to do. Even start work on your speaker sheets if we want. So get all of those PowerPoints in. Don't wait for the deadline. But as soon as you've got your headshots in, next few days, we'll start putting out those promo graphics. You'll see me from Monday onwards going mad with promo for it. The way that ticket sales go, we've sold tickets already, 75 in the room, 10 tickets have gone already. And that's just from people buying from last time, for example. I think it'll go really quick. I think it'll sell out really quick this time. We'll have some lovely guests in the audience as well. I always invite nice people to come and join us. And then sometimes I sponsor people's tickets. So if is there anybody in need or anybody who really benefit from the day, please do let me know, because I do pay for people's tickets for people if they're in need, and sometimes they go on and come to be inspired and go on to do the most incredible things. So if you know anybody in need, obviously I can't do that for everybody in the room, otherwise what the fuck is the point of me putting on an event that I've got to pay everybody for? But if you do know anybody, then there's a couple that will gift. We need a ticket for the other day too, yes, and that's just to cover things like your swag, your food, your bum on the seat, and all of that sort of stuff.
But the link in the email is for whichever day. You don't have to select. If you're a day one speaker, there's a day two ticket. There isn't. It's just the
speaker link.
It doesn't matter which one you book.
So we got our pictures back. Oh, I'm excited to see them, you belter. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday hotel. Yeah, whatever. So the hotels, there's 3 that are around that I recommend. The Premier Inn, is where I stay. Relatively inexpensive, very comfortable. We are around loads of restaurants, but some people have their own process. We'll talk about process a little bit closer to the time. There's the Jury's Inn, which is equally comfortable. It's got a restaurant downstairs, it's nice. And then there's the Deansgate Hilton. So the Deansgate Hilton is the posher one if you fancy splashing out. So that kind of covers all budgets. It's nice to stay together if you can stay together. Don't force it upon yourself, though. Sometimes people need to give themselves their own space, and we can go out and meet for something to eat, or, you know, we'll maybe do that after the show as well, go out for some tea or whatever it is that you want to do. We do play it by ear, and I don't organize anything specifically, just because everyone manages their own process. Roscoe is spooning me. I thought she would be, Michelle. So any other questions about sort of logistics, about affiliate links, how we sell the tickets, all of that? Fiona, can we get more blokes in the audience? Yes, welcome them in. Blokes need to hear what we've got to say, for sure. It would be lovely to get blokes in the audience.
I was just going to say, because there are a couple of comments further back about how the day itself runs. So most like the day one speakers, depending on how far you need to travel, we would recommend that you are there the night before.
The night before.
And you're there on the Wednesday so that you're not going to have the stress of traveling on the day. On day one, so the Thursday, we will get to the venue for 6 a.m. because we have to get in all of the lighting, all of the sound, all of the screens, all of the props, all of the decor, get all the tables into position. So we get there for 6 and we ask our speakers to join us from about 6:30, 7 o'clock, because you are also part of that setup. We will have hair and makeup, and you will much nearer the time. We don't need to worry about it now. Much nearer the time, those of you who would like hair and or makeup, you don't have to have both, you don't have to have either. You'll have a slot, but everyone for the day one team will be there from sort of 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. We ask the day two team to kind of keep themselves to themselves because your turn will be on day
the next day.
Okay, and then so we're there from early doors,
yeah,
and then we'll go home. And then day two on the Friday, we'll ask the day two speakers to come in, similar kind of time, 6:30, 7 o'clock. You'll have your hair and makeup slots. We will have to reset the room, so touch up the decorations, set the swag bags, so on and so forth. Some of us will stay Wednesday night and Thursday night and the Friday night, because it's quite nice once you've done a big event like this to have some space afterwards to decompress and just hold some space for yourself rather than charging back home if you can. But
I'm looking to organise a spa morning for us somewhere if you want to participate. So in the next week or so, I would love to know what numbers look like for that. And then we can make the necessary arrangements at the necessary venue. But what I found was really beneficial last time, me and Deep went for a massage the day after, and it was definitely like, you will get the glitter crash. We will talk about that again a little bit closer to the time. We're still in process. We're still writing at the moment. But when you do a big show, the energy is afterwards through the floor, and you will feel it. You'll physically feel it. You might feel a bit emotional. You might feel, it's called the snow, I call it snow globing. It's like being shaken up in a snow globe and waiting for everything to settle. So I'm looking at a spa on the Saturday morning, so next couple of weeks. If you are staying on the Friday night and you want to get involved, let me know, and then we'll arrange that and let you know venue and let you know what that looks like. Probably just jacuzzis and a nice jacuzzi somewhere, which will be bloody lovely.
Everyone has to do what they have to do. We had day one speakers who had to leave on day one. They didn't stay that night. We had day two speakers who didn't arrive until the night before. I had to leave before the end of the event because I had to get the last train home because I had to have children the next morning. So, you know, each of us will have our own like personal circumstances, family circumstances. There is no pressure that you must be there Wednesday night, Friday night. Each of us just has to do what we have to do, but there will be people staying for the whole shebang.
And it's your time. It's your time to enjoy it. We're going to really enjoy it. But in order to enjoy it, we need to get prepared. Amy, don't cry. You're okay. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a phenomenal experience, but we need to make sure that we are prepared. So for the final sort of 20 odd minutes that we have together, does anybody have any questions about their talk specifically, or anything that they want to throw out to the squad tonight to ask questions about their talk, or maybe get some direction?
I'll go then. I can't.
Go on then, Michelle.
I'm struggling with a name, with a title. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's quite polite to me, calling my children crotch goblins. I also they drive me up the bloody wall. Don't like any of them today. The pain in the asses. Yeah, no, I'm struggling with a name still, darling.
Okay, so do we? All right. Okay, so do you want to tell the group what it is that we're talking about, and maybe look at my fake tan from you that I didn't scrub off. Oh, you dirty get, Danny. That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah, can do. So for those of you who don't know me, I support parents who are experiencing or have experienced domestic abuse from their child. It's a topic that is extremely close to my heart, and one that we've grown as an organisation massively. And I'm stuck with a title, and one I normally speak 10 times to a dozen, so it's really bizarre that I can't think of a name. Please all don't jump at once. Welcome to my world.
Well, I was just going to say we were playing with some titles and they've not kind of sat right. So what were we playing with?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really difficult. Do you want me to read the start of my talk, Danny, to see if that helps?
Yeah, so we got the title, the working title is The Unspoken Truth About Domestic Abuse.
But for me, I'm struggling with that because I still liken that to intimate partner abuse.
Hear you. Makes sense.
That's where I'm struggling, because actually it's not what I'm just struggling with it, and I don't want to go on and use a title that I don't align with because I'll struggle with it. Does that make sense? It's just not going to work.
So what do you like? What could you refer it? Do you want to
domestic abuse
explicitly refer to it, or could you say something like the other kind of,
like parenting in the shadows, something like that?
It's really difficult, isn't it, when you think about it, because not every parent's going to experience this either, so I don't want to give them that misconception for people. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. It's just
I don't think you are. I think it does need to speak more towards that specific experience, right?
Yeah, it's because
what kind of value are you giving to them? Like, what's the main talk?
Oh, pegs, helping parents hold things together. Cheesy but effective. We all like a bit of cheese. Do you like it? Not even joking. That is my tagline. It works. It's beautiful. What sort of value to whom? Sorry, am I being thick?
No, what's in your value piece? So you're going to be sharing, aren't you? And I'll let
right.
you
Okay. So I might as well just share now. Are you all right for me to share that, Danny?
Please.
I'm going to share it with all of you, but I ask every single one of you. This is not public knowledge. It really isn't, and it cannot be public knowledge for the sake of my daughter. A couple of years ago, and this is why pegs mean so much to me, a couple of years ago, my daughter researched and planned to kill myself and my younger son, and we were failed at a horrific rate by services. And it's through the failings and missed opportunities of services that I turned my pain to power to empower others, and Pegs was born. In the space of 2 years, we have grown phenomenal. We have that word I can't even say.
Phenomenally.
Thank you. We have grown, which is incredibly sad, and most of you now know my story from previous experiences. We do sit at a really high level with government, both local and national, across the whole 4 nations now. And so I don't know what else to add to that other than that. So I would just really ask all of you, please don't share that. And that's not for me, it's for my daughter. But I think it's important that you understand why I'm sharing what I'm sharing. That will not be shared in my talk either.
So what Amy was asking, Michelle, is what's your value piece at the end? And you're going to be speaking to 2 demographics, aren't you? So you're going to be speaking to parents who may be experiencing this, and also if you know somebody who is experiencing this. So we're going to be talking to how to spot.
Yes. So what are the signs? So what are signs? What to do if you resonate with what we're saying? How to keep yourself safe, basically, and then from the other side of things, actually, if you think somebody is experiencing this, what you can do. It's not aggression. We're talking about extreme violent and aggressive behaviours, Claire. But yes, it's from a child or young person towards a parent. And so there's 2 streams. So one directly to those parent carers or guardians. I've got one. I've got one. And then to those that maybe
it might be controversial.
Oh, I like a bit of controversy.
I don't know whether it'll fit. What if it's not just a naughty child? Or what if they're not just a naughty child?
I agree with that. I don't like the word naughty though.
I know. That's why it didn't feel right.
What if it's more than just a difficult phase? Because sometimes they say, he's just having a phase.
Oh, it's typical behavior. It's not typical behavior. Yeah, typical behavior. Don't want a parenting core.
Yeah,
something along those lines, maybe.
If anyone has any bright ideas.
Thanks for being my sounding board and for my little counselling session for the last 5 minutes.
Could you just say something like, could you ever imagine your child trying to kill you? Could you not say something as...
No, I won't.
No, as a heading, not about you, but as a heading.
Difficulty is with that is people's minds, if that makes sense. We do reference that in the talk though. 1 parent every 19 days is killed by the hands of their child.
Could that not be the heading of the talk?
I don't think it's snappy enough.
Yeah,
I think it needs to be like a hook.
I've done that. We've gone down the whole 1 in 10 will experience it, 1 in 19. We've done that, haven't we, Danny? We've gone down
Nothing that. I've ever thought about, so that would capture my attention.
Yeah.
For listening to the talk then. Not that I'm not going to be interested.
I'm thinking something along the
I know
lines
what I
of
mean. If I was a stranger and something like that, as brash as that was the heading, I'd be like, oh.
I think as a subheading, if there's a statistic, then that sits in a subheading. But it needs to be like, if you remember about how we construct these things, it needs to be a challenge. So it needs to be a question that we're asking the audience or a statement.
Would your child ever plot to seriously hurt you? Something like that.
They don't. But then again, you're going to open that though. I'm not comfortable with that phrase, and the reason being is children sometimes they're not
plotting. It's like an out. Yeah,
it's not the best language of use, and it doesn't align with pegs, if that makes sense. So it's difficult, but I appreciate that comment. Danny, I'm wondering what other word can we use apart from naughty? Anybody else has got a thesaurus or whatever the hell they're called?
Shitbag. No.
Well, look, I've just called it
troubled.
So do you know what I mean?
Troubled.
Yeah, not just troubled kids, but also we're talking about adult children, aren't we? In my talk.
Yeah.
Do you really know?
Parasite.
Prevalence of parasite, girl.
I call my children kids, and they're 27, 25, and 18. I don't think that anyone would overthink all that, because your kids are still your kids, whatever age.
No, I know, that's why. No, 100%. I can't see who said that. It didn't come up.
Amy,
was it you that said that then, Amy? Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Parasite, that's
well, I googled the topic.
Did Amanda Holt come up?
Before, because Naomi did not Naomi, Owena did matrescence and wasn't like, what the fuck is matrescence? Yeah. And then what did Joe Fisher's? What was Joe Fisher's title?
The moratorium
of motherhood. So sometimes titles where people are going to look and go, what's that, can be quite intriguing. So I'd never heard of Parasite.
The Kids Are All Right is the name of another talk that's out there.
I've just seen that. The Kids Are All Right, yeah. Or are they? Yeah, it's a Parasite, but not, I'll think on it.
On it.
Sorry, thanks for making
at least we've now got everybody's brain having to think about it. So one of us in the night might go, oh, do you know what? We'll just throw it into the rehearsal space, or drop Michelle a little message if you have a brain fart about it. All suggestions welcome, and I will still keep thinking about it. I don't think you're a million miles away from it, and it'll be one of those things that one of us will just say, you go, I didn't think that sooner. And that's what happens. But the more you kind of try and tangle yourself up with it, it's like trying to undo like a jewelry chain, and the more you faff with it and the more you try and untangle it, the tighter it gets. Relax around it, try not to push it too hard, and then if you've got a little bit of brain bandwidth for it, you guys then give us a shout.
Thanks.
I love unpicking necklace chains. Parasite preparation. Oh, let's not prepare to be killed by our kids. I'm all right for that, thank you.
Can I just ask though, just because I'm trying to think of like titles, like is there a reason, like is there a medical condition behind it? It's just a
no, so there's no come along in the community with me rather than me take over Danny's Be Inspired talk and you'll learn. But basically, no, in short, there is no reason or rhyme for some families. There's risk factors, and you'll find out what they are during my talk. But if you're interested, come and find us. There's lots of information there.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me use the space, Danny.
No, it's good. That's what space is for. That's what Hot Seat's all about. And then there'll be other weeks. It will come, and this happens. For some people we get it straight away and it's fine. For others it just takes a little bit of smushing. It takes a little bit of like holding it in our hands and molding it until it feels good, and it will come for that for everybody. Any more questions? Does anybody need anything whilst we are together? Anyone want to throw anything on the table for the squad? Danielle Hansen.
I just have a quick question. The introduction, is it just your vocal business card? Or is it? Because I think at this level, that's what I'm going to struggle with.
Yeah. So, with the introduction, when you're speaking at this level, if you were speaking in like a networking meeting, for example, throwing in your vocal business card at the top end is really helpful. Utilizing that as your 60 seconds is really helpful. Your vocal business card is really the foundation on which you really stand your job role on, right? You don't need to do that in a talk situation. We've only got 20 minutes to talk. Really, you want to get into the meat of what it is that you want to say. You want to get into the meat of challenging. Thank you. And I will have just talked about who you are. So I'll essentially have done a little bit of that already for all of you. We'll have introduced who you are, unless you don't want me to, what you do and how incredible you are. That's what I'll be saying prior to you going up onto the stage. So then your job is to really start to make the statements to the audience that's going to make them think. Get through that introductory bit, straight into the talk, and then you might have a bit where you start to talk about you, and you might say, so what qualifies me to speak to you about this today, right? But that comes after you setting the scene first. So it's your job, not necessarily, the first bit isn't about you, it's about them, and it's about getting them to start to put themselves in the place of what you want them to think about. If you start to waste time at the beginning by talking about you and what you do, it's just going to sound like a sales pitch. It's just going to sound like you're going to get ready to sell them something. You don't need to do that. Like if you think about, like, from a TEDx point of view, if you ever watch TEDx's, they don't go, hey, I am and I help, so that you don't need to do that. That's like kind of like right at the beginning of the process when you just start to first speak about your business. This kind of talk is more about getting in there and getting your hands dirty with your concepts. So ask them questions. Have you guys ever thought about, and don't even worry about introducing yourself because I've already done it for you. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it a little bit easier because it doesn't feel as awkward.
Yeah. That was
hey everybody, I'm Danny Wally. I mean, I do that anyway. I'm a knob, but
I was like looking at writing it, and the introduction section is the most blank because I'm like, oh, what to say? I've got the meat of like what I want to say. But I was like, well, how do I? Because it just felt really boring.
Yeah, and that's what it will feel like. So you're better hitting them in there with questions or bold statements to start with. Yeah, kick it off with questions and bold statements. Any more? Sarah.
Hello,
my angel.
Hiya. So I think I've more or less written my persuasion piece.
Ooh, yeah.
But the challenge bit is just one sentence, and the substantiate bit is just 4 sentences, and then there's a massive bit in the evidence. Is that right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what size those things are, as long as you've got the main body of the talk. So really, so what you're doing is, here's the challenge. I understand why you feel challenged. Let me persuade you otherwise. Brilliant. You don't have to spend a whole amount of time trying to substantiate the discomfort. You want to get them out of there quick anyway.
Great. And then in that evidence bit, so I'm drawing on all sorts of clinical studies and things, but I'm also drawing on my experiences, and that's the bit where I suppose I might be introducing why I'm okay to tell you that this is.
Who are you?
Right. Yeah. Is that all right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So I don't know if anyone's ever heard me do the Show Up, Wise Up, Rise Up talk. I don't really introduce myself properly until I finish talking about Nikki Graham. I talk about imposter syndrome before I say my name's Danny Wallace and I'm the Queen Bee. Or I'm a little bit of an anomaly because the very fact that I'm saying I'm Danny Wallace and I'm the Queen Bee, it's audacious. Here's why. It's because I'm not an imposter. But getting in there, and you'll find a natural who am I bit. Who am I to say this to you? Like, let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Yeah. Could I do a giveaway on the day? 100% yes. I would implore you to do that. Either do that on your social medias, do that in the swag bags, however you want to do it. Absolutely. Draw them to you. Tell them that you've got something only for them in the room or only them that have got tickets. We will put details of whatever you do in your speakers area on your individual speaker profiles, so that when people do buy tickets and they go and engage with you, they get that information and we drive the traffic to you and your email lists. So absolutely, whatever you feel like. Does anybody struggle with nerves? I know, like Amy's just saying about taking calms, and we will speak to you about nerves specifically. We're still in writing process at the minute. We will cover this a little bit closer to the time. I know our Laura's going to come in and do some meditations with us. We've also got those meditations that Fidel, if you haven't already downloaded them, they are yours to download. Whatever Fidel has given you in that area, and there's things on confidence and speaking and stuff. There's a whole pack that he's put together for you guys. Download them, listen to them regularly. It's no good if you feel nerves on the regular occasions. if you only do a meditation once and then leave it, I would start doing those meditations once every day, even if it's just as you're falling asleep at night, just to start to break those thinking patterns. Anna will put a reminder of Fidel's stuff in this week's email, so we'll link back to it. There's a special code. We've paid for that bundle for you so that you can access those things. On the speaker advert, will there be your photo, your talk title, and then just a little sentence to describe the talk? This is the thing that we can share to sell tickets. You will just get the promo graphic. It's up to you to write whatever you want to write about the event and your involvement in it. And the reason why I don't provide you with that is that if everybody writes the same thing, then we just look like we're spamming everybody and we will become just a sea of sameness. It's much better for you to speak to your audiences using your words. I would just say, I would always put on your posts, again, this is just for in the next sort of week or so, I'll talk to you more directly about this. Talk about what they're going to get out of listening to you speak, but talk about what they're going to get out of coming to the event. People will buy or people will want to come along because they're going to get something from it. Some people will come just because they want to support you, right? So I had people that came down with me to BGT yesterday just because they wanted to be by my side. Other people would just want to go and see the show, go and enjoy a really incredible theatre show, right? See some famous people really close up and all of that sort of stuff. So think about the things that you could say to your audiences or to the people that are around you that will make it exciting for them to come. It's all right saying, oh, I'm really excited, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I would strongly recommend when you're sharing this, what are they going to get from listening to you speak? What are they going to get from supporting you? Make your stuff about them, so that you'll get a headshot. So what we're saying here, just headshot and talk title, no room to fit your talk description. No, that all just goes on the speaker area, which goes live a couple of days before the event itself. So your talk description is join Danielle Hansen as she speaks about building your business with firm foundations, for example. So it doesn't have to, it's just a couple of sentences. It's not a description or, a relay of your talk. Any more while we're together this evening? Any questions in between calls, guys, please do just let me know. Just get in my inbox, ask the questions, or email any requests for date changes, anything like that, to bookings@iamthequeenbee.co.uk. It's no good if you get in my inbox, especially at the moment, because it's fucking mental. Everyone's asking me how we got on a Britain's Got Talent. I don't have the spoons to answer everybody. But if you get in my inbox and go, can I change this to this? I'll say yes, and then I will forget. So the best thing to do always is to email bookings@iamthequeenbee.co.uk. Even if it's just to shift it by an hour, we will always find you a slot. If I say to you on our session, I need to see you sooner rather than later, email Anna and she'll get you in sooner rather than later. She'll get on the blower and we'll work it out in our diaries. Okay.
The other thing, somebody, I think it was Sarah, because you get the email from me every week, you think it's from me. It's from me, but it's not from me. If you reply to those emails, it goes to Danny.
Just to me. Because
it's all through Kartra. And Kartra is a serious thing. So yes, if you need me, it's bookings, please. Because
all right,
I'm not there otherwise.
Any swaps and chops and changes, bookings@iamthequeenbee.co.uk, or alternatively, you can go on the link and find a spot. But it's sometimes a little easier to get in sooner rather than later and squeeze in my diary if you email Anna. Okay, my darlings. So there we go. Day one, Laura Rose, Sarah Park, Mel Gizzy, Charlotte Grant, Zoe Bryn, Michelle John, Joanna Streams, Rachel Mooney, Daniel Hansen, Claire Nixon Ode. Day two, Tommy Powell, Amy Mantle, Tanya Ibbison, Fiona Bryan, Nikki Matiazic, Anne Ferguson, Prash Sharma, Sarah Altman Bushell, and Sam Aries. They are your cohorts. We will set up the chats for those tomorrow. I am excited to see who's going to win the competition and where we are going to go to our posh restaurant when day one or day two wins. I wonder who that's going to be. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I look forward to all of your one-to-ones coming up in the next week or so. Claire, I'm excited to speak to you. The final of our story finders. We are on a roll. We are cooking on gas, 9 weeks to go to the event. You are all smashing it. Even if you don't feel like you're smashing it, I'm eyeballing every single one of you. You are exactly where you need to be. Don't worry about being behind. You're not. All right, my darlings. I'll see you later. Take care. Good evening, everyone.